Joining me on the line, broadcaster John Gaunt, and in our Manchester studio, John Rees, socialist writer from the online magazine Counterfire. Let's start with John Gaunt first. Good afternoon to you, John.
Yeah, hi, Vanessa.
I mean, the idea is that we should send British troops into Libya to protect our oil interests. Do you think that would work?
Yes, I think that's what we have to do. I think we've been too hesitant in getting our people back from Libya. Now's not the time to dither. We've got major interest there. And as you say, the way you crouch the question is correct. We're not going in there in invasion. We're not going in there to take over the country. We're just going there to protect our oil. And I think that's absolutely vital. I mean, you were saying petrol's now reached £1.25 average. I paid £1.31 the other day, and there's no way we can afford for it to go to £1.40. The whole question of, the Iraq expedition and Afghanistan, slightly different to what we're proposing here. But I think the sooner we get the SAS in and the parachute regiment in, the better. Let's protect our interests, because this government has not protected our citizens in Libya. They've been too slow off the mark.
John, would it not look incredibly self-interested, as if we're just defending our petrol and leaving other countries' assets to be seized by whomsoever fancies it?
Yes, of course it would. But we have to protect our people. We have to protect our assets as well. And who knows who's going to be in charge. I mean, there are a lot of people sort of celebrating the idea that maybe Gaddafi will be swinging from a lamppost soon, but that isn't the end of it, is it? We don't know who's going to take over. There's going to be a power vacuum there. So what we actually need to do is make sure we protect our interests. And as I say, we're being too slow in getting our people back. This government, Cameron should be back in the country. I don't know why Clegg's on holiday, and I also don't really understand what William Hague's been up to. Maybe because he forgot, or he maybe thought we'd cut our Hercules fleet along with our Harriers and our fighter pilots.
John, I'm just trying to imagine this in reverse, though. Imagine the Swedes stormed in to defend IKEA. What would we think of that? Or McDonald's surrounded, the Americans came in to surround McDonald's. I mean, just imagine us sitting back and allowing that to happen.
I don't know about IKEA. I call it our killer. Every time I go there, we end up in a row, Vanessa. But no, I mean, it's fatuous, isn't it? I mean, the facts are we've exploited the oil there. We developed the oil there. Of course, we can have a silly six-form argument about whether we should be propping up Gaddafi. We have to deal with the here and now. The here and now is that our people need to be wartime, and the here and now is that we need to protect our interests. That doesn't mean go to war. That means putting in the right amount of forces, boots on the ground, to protect our interests. That's what we need to do.
All right, let's bring John Rees in on this. Hello, John.
Hi.
Is John Gaunt making sense? Could this happen, and should it happen?
No, of course it couldn't happen, and of course it shouldn't happen. There are, as a matter of fact, more important things than the price of petrol, and one of them is whether or not we are seen to support a regime, and this is what it would look like if we went in now to support and to sustain troops on the ground with the oil terminals, a filthy, corrupt, brutal, murderous, tyrannicidal regime, which in fact we have these interests because we supported it, because Tony Blair did deals with it, because British Petroleum have done deals with it. If you want to eradicate every last vestige of standing that Britain has across the entire Arab world, if you want its name to be dirt with the revolutionary government in Cairo, if you want to be dirt with the revolutionary government in Tunis, if you want to wipe out any possibility of any sensible relationships between this country and the Arab world, then follow this policy. After all, we are in enough trouble, are we not, because of the catastrophic failure in Iraq, because of the disaster in Afghanistan. I thought I'd heard the last word in lunacy when Tony Blair went to the Chilcot inquiry and advocated a military action against Iran. But this really is a completely different order.
I know, but let's get real here. 8.5% of the UK's crude oil supplies come from Libya. There are going to be very serious consequences for everybody listening to this programme, aren't there, if something isn't done to protect our oil interests over there?
Yeah.
And the other idea, of course, is that if we don't go and look after them, somebody else might come in, and goodness knows which nation or regime it would be, and purloin them.
You really do have to learn to live with the idea that some of the world's natural resources might actually belong to other people and other countries. They don't
No,
all
with the
belong.
greatest
They
respect,
don't
John,
all.
you're
They
talking
don't.
absolute
They
tosh.
don't all.
Well, you're
John,
talking
I
absolute
expect
tosh.
you.
You're gonna allow
I
it to
expect you
fall
to.
into
I
the
expect you
hands
to heckle
of
John
mad
because you're unused to
extremists, are you?
conducting a proper
Is that what you're
democratic
going to?
debate. You
What's your
simply
alternative?
believe
If
that
gentlemen, if you
talk
talk
long-
over one another, nobody will be able to
Well,
hear
if
you.
you ask-
So
if you
let
ask-
let John Rees finish, John Gaunt, and then you come in. John Rees, just
Okay.
finish what you've got to say, and then we'll give John Gaunt ample right of reply.
Thanks very much, Vanessa. Obviously, I didn't heckle John when he made lengthy replies because I believe in allowing
It's
people
called a
to.
discussion.
No, it's called heckling.
You stand on your soapbox then, mate.
Well, John, you're at least as used to being on a
You want
soapbox
the Iranians.
as I am.
Gentlemen, come
Well,
on,
the
because
Iranians,
it's
do you?
dull for
That's a
people
good idea.
listening if you just snipe at
Well,
one another. That's dreary.
Well, let me finish my point then. My point is this, that the Libyan people are throwing off a 42-year-old vicious dictatorship. If there is
Correct.
if there is British military intervention to defend the oil assets, it will inevitably look like an imperial gambit making use of the chaos in the country.
All right,
It
John
will
Rees, thank
finish
you. We hear
the
you. Let's
standing-
bring in John Gaunt to reply to that. John Gaunt, is this it sounds sensible? It sounds
No.
sound?
Listen, I want to see Gaddafi swing from a lamppost as quickly as possible.
Second time you've
This is
said
not
that,
about-
but that's
this
not
is about
germane to what
supporting
we're
Gaddafi.
asking, is it?
It's not about supporting Gaddafi. It's about protecting our interests. As you say, Vanessa, 8.whatever% of our oil comes from there. We need to protect it. Our companies have put the investment in there. We need to protect our people and our interests in this situation.
Well,
No
thank
way
you
would we
very much to
getting
both
sucker
Johns.
to
Thanks to
Gaddafi.
John
Thank you.
Gaunt. Thanks to John Rees, and obviously very interested indeed to hear what